What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at the best motion playbooks in college football 26. It took me a while, but I went through every single playbook, tallied up every play that has motion in it, and I have all that data over on my college football 26 playbooks page. I even done a little video talking a little bit about this motion, but we're going to go over the ones that have a little over 100 or so motion plays. Now, there are a ton of playbooks that have between like 50 to 90 motion plays in it, but we're going to go over the heavy hitters. Okay, now I will not be covering option playbooks. I'm talking about Air Force, Army, Navy, option, alternate. Those have a staggering amount of motion plays, all because of the flex bone stuff. So if you're into that type of offense, make sure you go check those out. We're going to cover the other types of playbooks and styles that have just a ton of motion. Let's start off with Central Florida. This is a spread playbook. This is the Scott Frost offense. It's going to have plenty of shotgun, as you would imagine. So you see right here, we got some pistol as well, and we even got some single back if you need some of it. But let's go over to all the motion. There are over 100 motion plays in this playbook. Plenty of Z motion, some sweep, some swings, and I'm just quickly going through all these. Just an absolute load of these. I like the variety. We got some bounce motion, more jet sweep, some tight end motion. I mean, you name it, it will be in here like it will be in for a lot of these playbooks. But just an absolute ton of stuff in here that you can have a lot of fun with. Lead blockers, things of that nature. I like the Z receiver in and the X receiver in type motion. Then you got jet sweeps with your top receivers, as you see right here. Just a lot of fun stuff. And then you got some slot motion where you can go out to this left and he goes out for a wheel route. Just some really cool things in this one. Again, it's a spread playbook. It just kind of depends if that's what you're looking for. But this one just has an absolute load of them that you can't go wrong with. Next up, we have the Rice Spread Option Playbook. I almost excluded this, but it's got some cool things in it. Of course, this is the wingback offense, and a lot of those wingback plays have plenty of motion. But you got plenty of pistol. Notice all these wingback formations you see right here. And then you get into the shotgun. You got some of your wingback formations as well. Again, this is the reason why you use this playbook is for all this wingback stuff. But it's got some other basic shotgun sets as well if you need it. This is another reason why I wanted to throw it in here. Now, I've already done a video on this playbook, but let's go over to looking at all the motion. We have, again, over 100 motion plays right here. You're going to see a lot of this, though, out of the wingback. That's the typical motion you see right there with an A-back going around. No different than like the flex bone plays, but it's just either from the shotgun or from the pistol. But not everything is wingback based. We're going to go through here and you're going to find at least some plays that are not wingback based. But again, this is the reason why you pick the playbook, is to run all this fun stuff. But then you got other basic things like basic jets, things of that nature. It's going to be either wingback or jet oriented. You got some other things built into it as well. It just kind of comes down to what you're looking for. Now you see like a jet sweep, a lot of slot motion and wingback motion. I guess that's the best way to do it. But then we got orbit as well, as you see right here, some tight end stuff, some screen-based motion, more jet sweep. We got a ZM that forms a mesh play, more wheel. There's some really cool things in here. Again, it's just a really unique playbook and nothing like it, especially with all this wingback stuff. But having over 100 motion plays, it's just a staggering amount for this type of playbook. Next up, we have the Penn State Power Spread Playbook. This is a very popular playbook. It's like the gadget playbook where you move like your top guy around a bunch of different places. It's got like the gate formation. You see here, it's mostly shotgun. It's not actually a humongous playbook, to be honest, for what all it has, but it's very 11 personnel oriented. But you keep going through here. I just wanted to point out, gate, empty lion, bunch quads open, empty spread, some weird combination of alignments from your shotgun formations. You got a little bit of wildcat, but it's got some of the oddball wildcat, like this trips tight end, wings trips weak. It may not look like a wildcat formation, but it is. There's wing flex. So this is another reason why you pick this playbook, or some of this wildcat. And it's got some pistol as well, not an absolute ton, but it does have some. It even has an oddball thing like here, Y off trips heavy. Again, if you need some really unique formations, you probably can't go wrong with this playbook. But let's talk about the motion. Let's go over here. We got 111 motion plays, and it is all over the place. You name it, it is in here. Even like an angle motion. You got motion drive, just jet sweep. Then we're going to get into some weird formations that's going to have some of this stuff. It has everything. I mean, it's only going to get bigger and better from here once we look at some other playbooks in this video, but you just keep on going. It is just a massive amount of stuff. Swing, bounce. Look at this double motion RPO peak pop. Weird, goofy stuff that looks to be like a lot of fun. Then you got a PA tight end leak. Again, last year, Penn State, they had that tight end that done everything for them. Well, now that's why this playbook is born, because you have so much of this weird stuff going on right through here. Any type of person that's on the field, a skill guy, is probably going to be a motion of some sort, whether it be a slot receiver, an outside receiver, a halfback, a tight end, you name it. It is all in here and then some. I mean, you can spend days just going through this playbook and just going and shuffling through all of the motion plays alone, on top of other fun stuff it has as well. But again, 111 motion plays, you can't go wrong. Again, you want some weird formations and different types of motion. I mean, this is as good as playbook as it gets. Next up, we have the Virginia Tech spread playbook. Yes, they just fired their coach, Brent Pry. Did not go well there. Nothing has gone well at Virginia Tech in years, but their playbook is pretty cool and it's got a bunch of motion plays. So let's go over it. So most of this is going to be shotgun. Nothing too out of the ordinary in terms of its formations. Plenty of 11 personnel like a lot of these spread playbooks are. You got some empty stuff built into it. You got some pistol if you need it as well. Not a whole lot. And you got a little bit of single back if you need it. But let's talk about all of this fun motion. 115 of them. And it is just all over the place. This may be more of a basic type of playbook in terms of some of your motions and what it's trying to do and some of its concepts. A lot of outside receiver motion. Look at all the Z receiver. So if you really like to see the Z receiver, the guy on the right going inward, there is just a ton of it in this playbook. I noticed that. Then you got some plenty of swings and slot motion, orbit, or a more jet sweep. You just keep on going. It just gets pretty wild. It gets some return motion built in there, some wheel, more swing, more orbit. It just goes on and on and on. Look at all this fun stuff. Here's a fun little series right here. Halfback cross screen, a screen wheel, and a flanker screen. But again, that's more of that Z motion built in there. You also got, again, just more slot motion, some RPO stuff built into it. A very slow developing motion right there. You see the Z receiver. He goes in and around the quarterback and he goes out. Again, very Z motion friendly this playbook is. You see just tons of it in here. I was actually surprised when I was going through here how much of that it included. So if you like just a basic spread playbook, but it's very outside receiver oriented in terms of moving those guys around, this is about as good as it gets. Next up, we have the Texas spread playbook, the Steve Sarkisian offense. Everybody knows this playbook is designed for one thing, and it is for RPOs. It has more RPOs than any playbook in the entire game. It's just an absolute load of these 36 alerts, and then, 25 peaks, and, 11 reads. But 72 RPOs is just a crazy amount. Most of it's going to be shotgun based, as you see right here. It does have some pistol, and it has like an I formation and a full house. But you do this to run shotgun and run a bunch of RPOs. But if you really want to get fancy with your RPOs, this is where the motion stuff comes in. We got 115 plays, and this is a blue blood playbook. And what I mean by that is some of the more popular and bigger programs tend to have fancier playbooks in these games compared to like Eastern Michigan or whoever. You're going to see a lot more interesting motion and oddball plays. As you see here, some shuffle. Well, look, all this empty. Not a lot of empty formations have motion. This one does. Reload, return, some RPO motion. You're going to see just so much RPO in here. It's not even funny. Some Z motion, some swing. It just goes on and on. You see some exit motion with your tight end, more orbit motion. This will be one of the better orbit motion playbooks in the game. It was the best one in 25, if I'm not mistaken. Plenty of wheel route type stuff. So this is typical Steve Sarkisian stuff. Get people at motion, doing like long developing plays with wheels and posts and drags and crossers. He's a humongous crosser guy. Like that orbit fake screen wheel, big crosser. That's just what he loves to do. Like that orbit PAY screen. What's that receiver doing? A lot of crosses. That may be one of the reasons why Arch Manning's having a problem. But that's for another thing, another day. But plenty of jet motion, sweeps, more exit motions and orbits and jets and orbits and jets and RPOs. I mean, you name it, it is in here. Got some halfback swing stuff in here as well. So if you just need a ton of RPOs with a lot of fancy motion built into it, this is the best playbook for that. Next up, we have the Georgia Tech Power Spread Playbook. I've already done a video on this one. This is where we take a humongous leap in terms of the amount of motion plays we have here. Now, this is a power spread playbook. The biggest thing about this is the types of runs you're going to deal with, like just absolute ton of power and plenty of counter. 17 counter is a super high number for that type of thing, but it's got plenty of zone, plenty of gap scheme if you need it. This is going to be pretty much shotgun oriented. As you see over here, we do got some pistol built into it, but this is a very quarterback run heavy attack. You go to like the play types, we got plenty of options. You go over to your pass, you go over here to let's go back to runs. You look at QB runs. We got 15 QB runs. Again, anybody who's watched Georgia Tech, they're having a good year. Haynes King, they just, half the offense is him. Like, he runs it, he does pretty much everything. It's just incredible. But let's talk about the motion. Let's go over to favorites. Here we got 150. Crazy, ridiculous amount. I'm just quickly going through all here what we got. Plenty of jet sweep, your orbits. I mean, it just, look at this. I mean, I could just sit here and just look at all this and just wonder what you can do. Just tons of escort. Fun stuff there. Then you got more halfback swing, some exit motion. You got some boomerang. You got a Y delay and a slot swing, and you got a Y corner. I mean, here's more orbit. If the Texas playbook wasn't good enough for you, you got plenty of orbit in this one. But notice you're going to see some cool motion plays like counter bash, power G. That's the whole power part of the power spread. They love moving their offensive linemen around. Look at that. Some double motion. Some jet sweeps, some more exits, some more RPOs. I mean, it's just, you name it. Any type of motion, you're getting to the point where we're getting to the really big ones that just has everything you could think of. You name it, it is probably going to be in here. Here, look at this. Motion, fake, jet, shot. Wild looking play there. Just keep on going. I mean, like, I could be here forever and just talk about all this stuff, but just like I said, I've already done a video on this one. It's got just more than what you would ever need, but you pick this playbook mainly to do a lot of running. They don't do a whole lot of passing in this offense. Now, there's plenty of it in here, but this is all about this stuff right here. Orbit, QB, power, RPO. That is the Georgia Tech offense in a nutshell. Either way, awesome playbook, tons of motion, and a lot of fun, especially with your quarterback. Last but not least, we have the Kansas spread playbook. This is another one I've already done a video on. This has more motion than you could ever dream of. Plenty of shotgun, as you see right here, some two-back, some 11 personnel. Nothing too out of the ordinary when it comes to the formations per se. It's got some pistol if you need some of that as well. Now, the Penn State playbook, that offensive coordinator, I've already forgot his name. He came from Kansas. He was the offensive coordinator here. So this is going to be a very similar playbook to the Penn State one, but this one actually has more motion. It's got some Wildcat built into it as well. Let's go over here and look at all of this motion. Now, I have it set up as 154 plays. You may see some different numbers over on my side. It just, again, I've had to total these up. I've had to do all these manually. Forgive me if something may be off, but 154, that's just a crazy amount. Orbits, jet sweeps, more orbit, RPO, slot receiver motion, jet sweeps. I mean, it's got everything. Again, this is the highest amount of any team playbook. The option alternate playbook, I think, has the most, but that's because of all that flex bone stuff. But look at all this orbit. Then we got some motion mesh built into it. And you got some screens and you got some bounce. I mean, you just keep on going. Look at all this. Very fun stuff. Anybody that can move around will definitely move around in this one. You got some double motion, more jet sweep, more orbit, QB power. This is another thing. This is very close to the Georgia Tech playbook. I guess if you need more passing, you may want to go with this one as opposed to Georgia Tech. Actually, Georgia Tech's got more pass play, so I stand corrected on that. It just depends on what you're looking for in specifics in terms of like your motion and your concepts. You'll just have to go through and see what you really like. But this is just an awesome playbook. If you just need a sheer amount of motion plays, and this is it right here. You can't do any better than the Kansas spread playbook. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.